We're live. All right. Hey,
Things
it's
are
Sue Greenwald
happening.
with Awakened Stories, and I'm here today with King Smarty, also known as Sananda Galactic. Hey, King, how are you?
I'm fantastic. How you doing?
I'm doing amazing. It feels like a great day, and it is a great day. And I'm very excited about everything. Just got off the video with John Kennedy Jr., and his documentary comes out today. And I'm about halfway through it. I've cried my way through most of it, but it's beautifully done. Beautifully done.
Yeah. That's definitely a tearjerker.
Yeah.
I was watching it myself. Um, he was saying that he would like to have more footage in it. However, it's going to be done. It's
Yeah.
we got Royal Crown Productions coming in, so
Yeah.
we're going to make more and more and more movies galore. And I'm halfway through it myself, and it was it was um, it was tough to listen to in the beginning
Yeah.
because we all know what happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, despite what him and his family may have been involved in back in the day, he was an innocent child, and
Yes.
all that stuff. So,
Yeah.
but I recommend it. Everybody go watch it, share it. Let's get it all out. Let's get the truth out, and
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. That documentary is at thequietjourney.tv. And there's also shirts on that, and all proceeds will go directly to John. And we're going to somehow link his website with them. You know, that's not my department, thankfully, but so can we see your sweatshirt and can you kind of tell us a story of that? That is beautiful.
well, for those of y'all that know, when crystalline chambers are finally released, we will have new appearances, and this is one of mine. This is the Tsunami Galactic look. This was also a birthday present from Jazz and Sophie.
Yeah.
Um, when Sophie sees this image, she says, Dad, because her sight is not like everybody else's right now. She can actually see what I already look like. In other words, the transformation won't be a problem for her because she's already sees. So that's what the shirt is about. The royals, the royal palace in the background, the UFOs, blah blah blah. And I got my hat to match.
The Galactic. I love it.
So it's
So
things are happening. Things are definitely happening.
do all little kids that are coming in have that ability to see our, we'll call it like true essence or whatever, true appearance?
Yes, that's why they run away from certain people.
Oh. Okay. Is there an age cutoff? Like, is it 7 and under, 5 and under? Like, is there an age cutoff?
No, no,
Okay.
there's no age cutoff. What happens is the child is depending on what family the child is born in,
Okay.
depending on what upbringing the child has, they start to lose that ability, and then they're called crazy when they start to tell their parents that they can see things.
Ah,
And right away, some of the slower parents want to medicate the child, messing the child all up for a very long time
right,
until the child realizes that it was never there. There was never nothing wrong with them. It was normal.
right,
So
right.
that's the problem. Um, Moving forward in our new reality, that's no longer a problem.
Okay. Well, what you described has happened to most of us. Okay, so when we were kids, we saw this or that. And of course, we were just called, oh, they have such an imagination, right? That's what my parents said about me, right? And I like to write and read, so they thought, well, I'm getting it from stories, right? But I don't even know what it was. But hopefully, those raised in positive, open minded homes will be able to see our real appearance and our true appearance, I guess is the way to say it.
Yeah, and then those that are strong like us, no matter what we were told or made fun of, we're still going to do what we do, and
Yeah.
it's going to be evident that we can see and know the truth because we were
Yes.
born with it.
Yeah.
You know,
Awesome.
how did you learn all this stuff? What do you mean? Why don't you know it?
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, a lot of us have, like, we'll call it buried our abilities or whatever, what we saw or what we knew, and we conformed, right?
That Daddy just said it's done.
It's done.
Whatever that means. That can be many things for everybody listening and watching right now. But he just said it's done.
It's done. I think we're going to change the name of this video to It's Done. Thank you, Daddy. Thank you, Daddy.
Either way, it's a great day, so it's done.
It is a great day. I could feel it this morning when I got out of bed. It was like exciting, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know that 10 levels of consciousness that we just raised,
Yeah.
there's evidence of it, by the way. You got the black line going down. That's that. Normally, when you see that black line in the Schuman residence, it's because the timeline
Yeah.
enhancement, if you will.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wouldn't call it a shift because there was only one timeline, Daddy's perfect timeline. The only way that your timeline would change if you did something that wasn't supposed to happen, then your timeline would change, but not Daddy's. Daddy's never changes. This is the problem with a lot of New Agers thinking that they can change things, or even the cabal thinking that they can change things. There's only one perfect timeline, and it's our creators, our fathers, who I call Daddy. So things are moving forward in his perfect timeline, and we're walking into that new reality of it all. So you got all of these different documentaries coming out. We just dropped one as well, so go look at that. The chambers will be released shortly, and he reminded me of it because he showed me my baby sister transforming into her new body. And if you really want to know why Smarty works so hard, is because of things like that. I want to see things like that fully manifest. So if I got to heal everybody, despite all the shit I got to go through to get to that point, that's what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
So that's why I work so hard.
When you saw that vision, was it in Florida or was it back in PA?
It was in Florida. I mean, it was in Pennsylvania, the basement. Just this morning. So,
Right.
and it gets clearer and clearer and clearer, and the tears get realer and realer and realer. Not that they weren't real, but
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
it's something. It's something else.
Yeah. Awesome. That's so beautiful.
Yeah.
Really,
So
that is why we're all working for this. Like, we think it's like a new house or whatever, like the money. It isn't. Like, that stuff it's icing on the cake. It's really when we see the impact we're going to have on the people and the earth, it's going to be so beautiful.
yeah, and we're already having that impact because
Yeah.
of all my work. We're at the point where we're at.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit if people believe it or not. I know what the fuck I'm doing. I know what I can do. I know who's listening. I know who's watching. I don't give a shit. I'm going to get this done, and then when push comes to shove, all of the spacecrafts in the skies will only take orders from me. Then those that thought they knew shit are going to find out they didn't really know nothing. And the ones that think they're in control are finding out every day, like I said before, that they have no power over Daddy and I and the crew. Yeah, they attack you guys and they mentally fuck with y'all heads and shit like that. However, it's still a part of your training to make you stronger. So, moving forward, we are walking into a new reality where everything changes, the planet gets cleaned up, everybody gets healed, everybody's super fit, we're all eating healthy, and the cabal is ceased to exist. That's where we're headed. And we're walking into that shit. So, if I can guess, if I can take a lucky guess, I'd say that's done.
How exciting. How exciting. I mean, we've been working on this for so long. And again, we haven't done a fraction of what you've done. So but we've been waiting and watching and learning, and we needed this time to learn. We needed this time to open our eyes.
That's true. And even to some of the people that are closed-minded, they'll say, well, what has you done? You know what I'm saying? They don't take the time to research.
Yeah.
They don't take the time to ask questions.
Yeah.
First thing they do is pass judgment, skepticism. Skeptic is someone who's come to a conclusion without doing proper research. That's what the fuck a skeptic is. And there's about 85% of y'all out there.
So it's done is today's theme. It's done.
It's done. It's done. Thank you, Daddy. Thank you, Daddy. Thank you, Daddy.
You, Daddy. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
He said,
Awesome.
why you yelling? I'm right here. remember when I used to, I don't know if you remember the lives, I used to yell and Daddy'd be like, why are you yelling for? I'm right here.
Yeah. Those were what I call the good old days when we would get on, I think it was Facebook. I mean, it seems so long ago, I don't even remember.
Yeah.
But, you know, we were really learning. There was a great group of people. A lot of them have dropped off.
Yeah.
But some very good people that are still here, still working, still learning.
They'll be back. They'll be back.
Yeah.
You know, people want to believe it's all true, but again, if you don't know it's all true, then you won't know.
Yeah.
You know, no matter how many miracles I perform for you, whenever you decide it's over, it's over.
Yeah.
And that's not how it is. You know, you got to keep going and going and going and performing and reproducing what I'm teaching you and blah, 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 blah. It's not just one and done, you know, and a lot of people want that instant gratification that don't fucking do nothing for you.
Yeah.
Because it don't last. You know, so that's why I keep working on all types of things so that I myself stay moving and stay focused on the bigger picture. And it's Dad's work, no matter how you look at it.
Yeah. So you had, I think, 2 videos come out in the past day or so. Both beautifully done.
Yep.
So I'm going to get them mixed up, and I forgot even what my question was, but one of them just paints the new reality so beautifully. You can see it. It talks about the food and the growing and the education and everything. It's just beautifully done. So if people haven't watched them, they're on Royal Crown Productions. Yep. And beautifully done.
They're also on KINGSMARTY.tv.
Right.
The latest one, which was posted this morning, is Sananda Galactic and the boss and the humanitarian army is here.
Yeah.
And that video, it literally shows you what's happening. What's happening.
Yeah. So what I've been doing is I watch the videos and they're spectacular, but you can envision it happening better because of the videos. So, like, you know, we always say if you envision and feel it happening, you draw it closer to yourself.
Right.
So watch those and envision yourself walking on that sand with the group in the beach.
That's right.
Helping feed people, helping to do this or that. Beautiful.
That's right. That's right.
I love the one of you walking, like you were walking away from the plane, like you had the bodyguards with you. That was a fun little clip, you know?
Yeah. I was rewatching it also, and I had to rewind it because one of the clips at the Help Someone Today campaign, you see the little old lady walking behind the chamber and then coming out like, wow.
Yeah.
That was awesome. But that's a reality that we're literally manifesting.
Yep.
Because the human mind can manifest things. And the people don't really know what you guys are capable of yet. And I'm telling you guys that we are manifesting this shit right now. We're manifesting full disclosure. We're manifesting the wealth transfer. We're manifesting the crystalline chambers. We're manifesting the clean, beautiful reality, healthy food, super fit bodies and all that. We're manifesting it. And we are using, Daddy and I are using your own manifestation abilities to do it. Because as you guys are watching these things, you're wanting and hoping that this is real and this is taking place. Those of us that are smart enough, we know it is. So we're just pushing that energy into it, right? An example, the cabal. They'll put something on the news and they'll say, there's a fucking storm coming and it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. You got millions of people watching that shit. And all of a sudden, that storm becomes bigger and bigger and bigger because you got the cabal using your abilities against you to manifest that storm. We're doing the same fucking thing, but we're doing it in the light. We're doing it to show you guys that it's possible. We're doing it because it's the right thing to do, right? So yeah, we are using yous to create a beautiful reality for all of us because it's very, very possible. And the cabal knows it, which is why they used all you guys, which is why they're still doing, you got one Trump saying this and you got another Trump saying that, because they're literally in a battle over your hearts and minds. And that's what the real hearts and mind battle was about. Knowing that you can manifest whatever the fuck they want as long as they feed you bullshit all day. Mic drop.
So, all right. So we'll say it this way then. To help us manifest more powerfully, watch those videos and really put yourself in them. Feel them. Know that it's true.
It is true. It is true. It is true no matter how you look at it.
Yeah.
The cool part is it can be done faster if you just put your love and light energy into it. And, certain groups like the CIA would say, yeah, we are the ones that started the love and light shit to throw people off. Man, fuck out of here.
Now, a couple of days ago, you said those three letter agencies were done. So what's happened with them in the past 3-4 days?
I don't know, and I don't give a shit other than them being done too. So maybe that's what done is about.
It's done.
I don't worry about 3-letter agencies. I don't worry about the local perverts. I don't worry about nothing or no one because dad tells me what to do. I go do it, and I don't care who don't like it. That being said, I don't care. I know, but I don't. Like, I don't worry. I don't wake up and saying, oh, man, I hope I don't get, I hope, you know what I'm saying? I don't worry about none of that shit because dad sets them up. If you haven't noticed, when I come on here and talk all this shit, he sets them up because they jump on things. Oh, no, we got to look into this. We got to stop him, or we got to come after him, or we got to do this, or we got to do that. Next thing you know, because of them taking the bait, they get eliminated. Period. He's taking down Apple. He's taking down BlackRock. He's taking down Israel. He's taking down all the banking cartels. He's taking all of them down. They all fucked. All of them. And guess who's the new owner of it all? Yours truly, Sananda Galactic, the boss, the king of the universe. Not just this little beautiful planet you call Earth or this little district, right? You're talking about a massive universe that is fully in control of, and I'm here to rule over it with love. Love, like key word, love. What's the most powerful force in the universe? I've been teaching y'all love. And I'm showing y'all it's love. With a little bit of ass kicking too, but it's love. When you put heavy love and light on a situation or on a person, depending on how evil that person is, it's literally like putting a salt on a snail. Not that that's a cool thing to do, but I've seen it done where salt was put on the snail and the snail just withers up and dies. Just like the fucking witch in the Wizard of Oz. They poured water on her and she crumbled up and shit, right? Mm-hmm. That's what happens to entities or situations when you put heavy love and light on them. You got a problem with the courts. You got a problem with this. You got a problem with that. Throw heavy love and light on it and manifest what you want to see done without worrying about it. Does that make sense to everybody?
And we know that the energy in the power of love is so much more powerful than the opposite, which is jealousy, hate, the lower energies.
Lower vibrations, yeah.
They don't have power. Love does.
Daddy does not operate in none of that stuff.
Yeah.
He operates in love, light, energy, positivity, being kind, taking care of each other, being grateful. I wake up every day. Thank you, Daddy. Thank you, Daddy. Thank you, Daddy. Thank you, Daddy. I say it all the time. You hear me and B say it all the time. Thank you, Daddy. Thank you, Daddy. Thank you, Daddy. Because that's how we are. We're thankful for everything he's given us and he's allowing us to do. And we dropping it like it's hot. We dropping it like it's hot everywhere, and no one can stop us. That doesn't mean they won't attempt to or have an attempt to. However, Daddy won already, and we're walking into that. We are so past a lot of this stuff that the only way they can come at you guys is by making you guys feel like you want to quit, feel like you want to give up, cause all types of issues so that you just let it go and then walk away, etc. Worry about this and worry about that. Who gave you this and who gave you that? Dad did. So he wants you to trust him. He wants you to have faith in his plan. That's what this is all about. All of it. All of it. No matter what you go through, trust your creator. Trust his plan. Be good. Help the people. Come together. Stop the chaos. Don't let people get abused by other people. Stop sitting there with your mouth shut while kids are being trafficked. Come on, man. Wake the fuck up already. Stop being a part of the problem. Stop sitting in that fucking job, getting that paycheck just because you think you can't get another paycheck somewhere else. Y'all the problem.
Okay.
Anyway, you look like you froze up. I hope you got that, but you did look like you froze up.
I got the end. Well, you maybe froze up for 5 or 10 seconds.
Okay, all right, that's cool.
Yeah. So, but it was good.
Yeah.
It was good. Really good.
All right, let's go to Q&A and let's drop it like it's hot.
All right. So we had a consciousness upgrade. Was it 2 days ago?
I think it was 2 days ago.
Okay. So do animals also get upgraded when we get the consciousness upgrade? Because they seem like they're becoming, well, smarter and more intelligent, if you will.
Communications, telepathic, yeah.
Okay. And we talked about this before. When there's a consciousness upgrade, it's like every conscious being, that could be rocks, plants, animals, people, throughout our entire universe. It's not just us on Earth.
That's true, which is why there are ships in the atmosphere or in the galaxy that are just stationed there waiting for the next upgrade. Because when we upgrade the planet and the consciousness here, it vibrates out and changes everything else.
Right.
So they're the first ones to get, oh, yes, let's go. Let's go.
So they know about it out there and they love it, right? And they
of course, you're talking about an entire universe with armies, knowing that the supreme commander to all the armies is down here doing this.
Yeah.
Like when you really understand what's happening and when you can really see the bigger picture, you guys are going to be so amazed, and it's just like, what the fuck? This is real. Holy shit. It's real.
It's going to be mind-blowing no matter how deep you are in it. Like, still, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It is awesome. It is awesome. So basically, like we've talked before, everything we do that's positive ripples out, not only to those here on Earth, but to those throughout the universe. It's really important to think those high, loving thoughts. And that's why envisioning Earth becoming free is really important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The faster you see it and feel it, the faster it becomes.
Yeah.
You
How
know, that's why I say be careful what you wish for.
Yep, you just froze up.
That's why I say be careful what you wish for, especially when you're around my energy field.
Can you still hear me?
Yeah,
Okay.
you're froze up too.
So are you. Okay, well, we'll just talk. Do those up there we are. Do those on inner earth and in the other districts know about you?
Of
Like are
course.
open, like I'm gonna say openly know about you.
Yeah, of course, of course.
So we're the only like district then that, you're just a regular guy that's censored.
Yeah, to most people here, because there's a lot of people that know better.
Yeah,
However, yes, the other districts, they see, here's the thing, there's sensors all around the earth and the planet.
yeah,
And a lot of those different districts and beings in those areas censor the planet. They have everything on, everything's being spied on. Everything is this, you can't do nothing without everybody, higher evolved beings knowing,
yeah.
because you can see energy going, what the fuck? So they know this is not a game. This is very real. And even some of the ones that are in the militaries and different programs and all that stuff, the ones that are full of shit are going to be exposed as being full of shit. And the ones that are and have been connecting to other different districts and beings within the earth are going to find out that this dude right here has been telling y'all the whole time, and he's the king that we've been talking about.
It's so fun. It's so fun. So fun.
It is.
Okay. A couple days ago, you had we had talked a few days ago, but you had said you're going to release the gold, and I'm assuming you meant from the caves, right? Is that what you meant? And did you do it, or what's happened?
Yes, we have from multiple caves, multiple dimensions.
Ooh, that's it? Any
Yeah,
more?
that's it.
No stories?
Well, we're the ones that's funding the entire wealth transfer,
Yeah.
the entire wealth transfer, and a lot of the assets belong to me. Dad doesn't want me to take ownership of everything, but a lot of them belong to me because I'm the new steward of it, if you would.
Yep.
And they will be put on mantles in the palace so that everybody can see. Um, and of course, there are going to be others that have houses with beautiful, priceless things in it. So, that being said, everything Dad wants me to own, I will own, and everything he wants me to give away, it will be given away to the people. There
Awesome.
won't be no lack of anything. And one of the main things is releasing the gold from different dimensions. Let me paint what that looks like. You've seen the movie Black Panther. Most people saw it. They have a dome over it. That dome is an energetic dimension, if you would. When you pass through that dome, you go into a different space. That's literally what it is. A different space, different district. When you go into that district, or when the dimension or the veil is removed, then you have access to it. That's what's been happening for the last 2 days. So now we have more and more gold available. We have more and more historical assets available, and we have spacecrafts that have been dormant for thousands of years that are now going to be visible, and you'll be able to watch and touch it, put your hands on it, experience it, go for a ride, all that. Replicators, all of it. We're getting ready to release it all. No, we are releasing it all. He corrected me. So
All right.
it's done.
It's done. Okay.
Stick a fork in it and make sure the fork got heavy, love, and light.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Wow. Okay. So the other districts know, inner Earth knows, everybody else knows except us guys. Wow.
Yeah.
That's offensive.
Considering that it's just a handful of humanity that don't know shit, it's cool.
Yep.
Real cool.
Yeah. Okay. So separate question. We've all seen in our lifetime a gradual increase in violence, like in movies and shows, video games, which has translated to the outside world. Okay. So we know it's out there, but it kind of, we become desensitized to it. It's become acceptable. Like sometimes even these fight scenes in the movies are blasé anymore, right? It's not
Mhm.
exciting anymore.
It was done on purpose, yes.
I know that. So that's to basically put it in our energy field that that is acceptable. Okay. It's common, it's normal, right? Which it is not.
Nope, not at all.
So, so why are they adding human components into our food? Okay. So we know that we've got bodies that are allowed to be in our drinking water. Look it up if you don't believe me. Okay. I did research that. We've got body parts that are going into things like Doritos, Pepsi, whatever. And then we've got human meat going into our, well, fast food, grocery store food, whatever it might be. Why are they doing that? What's the goal there?
Well, like I've been telling you, we've been under a heavy draconian rule, and most of them are half breeds. So whenever they want to go to the store, they want to make sure they got human particles in their products, and they don't care about you, which is why they give it to you.
Okay,
Plain and simple.
okay. So it's really not. I was thinking it's like a gateway into cannibalism that we're used to it. We could become used to it, and then we crave it. People are addicted to McDonald's and like say Chick-fil-A or whatever. They can't get enough of it.
Right.
Okay. And I don't understand that, but it's like an addiction.
However, you're right too, though.
Okay.
Yeah, you're definitely right too, because if they can get you used to certain things,
Yeah.
and then they can say, okay, well, this is what we've been doing, and you guys are half lizards too. You got a lizard brain, so what's the big deal?
Yeah, yeah,
You see how they try to throw it out there like that?
yeah.
That's all that was. However, you're finding out now that we have been under a draconian system. The money system, the dog eat dog type of system was their system.
Yep.
Dad didn't put us here to, rob, steal, and 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 enslave someone and make them pay for food and water, blah blah blah.
Yeah, yeah.
That's all their system. That being said, because they were in I wouldn't say power or control, because they had since they were renting the planet for a little bit, right? They had the abilities to do these type of things and think it was okay, because again, they consume humans. These are multi-dimensional beings, and when they come into this dimension, they have to eat, and their food of choice is a human beings, especially a baby's glands and shit like that, right? That's what they do. So if they can take the baby, particles of the baby, and the blood from the baby, and put it in all these products, then they feel like they have something that will maintain them. That's literally what it is. And then they have all of these different entities, right? Well, people, I don't even understand why people don't get the fact that Lucifer's different, Satan's different, Baphomet's different. Um, um, whoever the fuck, they all different. They're all different beings. The devil, right? The devil, the creepy crawlers, the gremlins, the fucking demonics. They're all nothing but different beings who enslaved even the satanics, the Zionists, right? They bamboozled them into being what they are. And now they think it's cool to be a fucking Zionist or satanic or a cannibal and all this other shit. not realizing that your life, your entire existence is at stake. So yeah, you guys been bamboozled as well, because
Right.
you're not going to survive. You're not going to survive what's happening. Period.
Right.
So that's why we have all this shit all messed up, which is why we are turning the world right side up.
And we know that obviously these products are not good for us to start with
Nope.
without those ingredients, but with the ingredients in it, it makes us sick.
Yep.
And of course, the average common person doesn't know what they're eating. Like, you know
Yep.
what I mean? And I think they're going to be horrified when they find out.
Yep. Just like when you prepare meat or chicken or whatever it is, you prepare it a certain way, right? You prepare it a certain way. You put certain seasonings on it. Some people like fatter steaks with the actual pieces of fat in the steak. So what do you think they do if they feed you all this stuff and then they kill you, and then the contracts takes your body, because they got contracts to take your body, and then they put you in these meat grinders, or they take the body fat and eat it and whatever the fuck they do with it, and then they take the blood and put it on their face and drink it because they think it makes them young. And since they believe it makes them young, it actually does, because again, they mind fuck them into believing that that's what it is.
Right, right.
And then what happens when you just come and you take it off from them? They start to die, which is why a lot of them don't look the way they used to, because they've already dead.
Right.
And now they have to fake the funk. They had to fake the person in order to keep the charade going.
Right, right.
So yeah, it's a whole smorgasbord of bullshit that is done. Did I say done? Daddy, you said done, right? Yeah, he said done.
He said done, done. And I don't mean to keep bringing this up because it's very upsetting to think about, but I want to make sure that people clearly know not to eat fast food, to be very careful about what they consume, and try to clean. Like, energy flows better when you're clean and clear, if you know what I'm saying.
That's
But
true.
we talked last time about the hospital contracts, and then we talked a little bit about the funeral homes, and again, putting it very softly, we're going to be sick when we find out what they've been doing, and we know about it. So
Yeah, yeah. So at the end of the day, um, it's all over. It's done.
yeah,
You got people like Ibrahim Tory, working secretly to feed his people and restructure foods and make it back to organic or whatever the case is.
yeah,
We can do all that.
yeah,
My frequencies can literally change
yeah,
a seed just by hitting it with the right frequencies. We don't have to do any fucking genetically modifying splicing bullshit.
yeah.
That's how powerful this dude is. Whop, and is done. Not to mention, we're getting ready to communicate and be in communications with him as well, so that we can help him and he can help us.
Awesome.
Everything he's doing over there, I'm going to do to Puerto Rico, and
Yeah.
I'm going to do it here.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah. Well, Gaddafi tried to do that in Libya. He was doing it, which is why he's no longer here. And I know that they've been watching Torres like very carefully. And I think you said that they've tried to assassinate him a bunch of times.
Yeah, they've always tried to assassinate. However, he's very gifted and he knows, and he's also listening to us right now. So
Is he?
um
Yeah.
we know shit, okay?
Yeah.
We know.
Well, okay. So I just wanted to bring that up and just say again, it's hard to say this, but what we think has happened to our loved ones isn't really their end result. And
Nope.
yikes, it's very ugly and it's gross. All right, now switch of topic to something more positive. Will the dome ever be removed? The energetic dome. ever be removed from our district?
The answer is yes and no. What's going to happen is it's going to expand
Ooh.
because it's going to, you got the district like this, it's going to expand because it's going to cover the entire planet. So all of the different energetic domes will become one. And when you look at the Earth from outer space, it will be blue because of the new energy field around it.
Okay.
This was been told in many different ET stuff years ago, like 20 plus years ago. However, it was true.
Okay.
The planet's vibration is shifting, and all of the different districts and domes will combine, and it will expand the energy field, the energetic protective dome. And the purpose of that is because nothing will be able to come in or out over the entire planet, not just this little district. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Now, when you say nothing, do you mean like of a lower vibration? Okay, so you have to be at a certain vibration to come to Earth in the future.
Yeah. Imagine trying to fly through a mosquito trap.
Okay.
If you're a mosquito, you ain't gonna make it.
Yeah. Okay.
And I told y'all that shit many times. And that's just right now it's destined. Like you come here, if you ain't coming with the right energy, you getting messed up, and your ass is taking off.
Yeah.
I've seen it happen. Matter of fact, you saw it happen too.
Did I?
Yeah, I'll remind you later. But yeah.
Okay. Okay.
People come,
I think I know.
people come and people go.
Yep. Yep. Got it.
I can't. Whoa, I gotta go.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, like I've said before, people either love you or they hate you. Most people gravitate to you, but then there's some that have to run the opposite way.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
That's right. That's right. But at the end of the day, I'm not going nowhere. So those that don't like me for whatever reasons, and most of it is because they're just dark cabal people, they'll fade away, they'll expire. I mean, they're all going to expire at some point, or they'll just forget about everything they think they know and turn to daddy and start doing the right thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go ahead.
I saw a comment about seeds for growing. You put a seed in your mouth and then it grows, and the seed has consciousness. The plant will grow and basically have the nutrition that your own body, your own personal specific body needs, because it knows from your saliva. And that is a true thing, except the US puts poison on their seeds. If you buy the seeds, you have to be really careful where you get them from. Okay, so just
that's a reason why you need Smarty products, because once you put your seeds around the pendant, you don't need to spit on it no more.
Well, okay, that it's a lot more convenient to use a pendant and not, you're supposed to keep it in your mouth for like something like 7 minutes or something, like, great.
1 minute, a charm or the actual sticker.
Yeah.
Actually, you just need a frequency fertilizer sticker.
Yeah.
And then you water it with it constantly, and it'll grow faster, healthy, stronger, yield more, and it'll keep you disease free.
Yeah.
That's where we're going. That's what we're doing.
And like I said, that food is grown specific to what you need to balance out your health. So I am familiar with that concept, but I just wanted to address that. It just slapped me in the face.
Yeah.
Okay, next question. Will the colonized territories on Earth, okay, so like, again, we're talking in our district, will they be freed?
They already are being freed.
Right.
Some of them are already free, and it's just going to be the flick of a switch.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. So we talked about Puerto Rico, and my daughter and I did a couple videos on that. And I learned so much I didn't know. And we're getting ready to do a video on Hawaii. And again, oh my golly, it is shocking what I've discovered and what I suspect we're doing there now.
Right.
So they need their freedom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
So, yeah, we haven't recorded that one, but that'll come out in a couple of days, and we might have to do multiple things, and then we'll talk about those specific details. But
Well, daddy's planned all this stuff. And we are in the position to change it. And that's what's happening.
right,
Everything that's been thrown to the people, there's a solution for it, and it's called daddy.
that is true.
And now we are getting ready to, I mean, we already are doing it. There's so many things in store for us that it's just mind-blowing how much work that we have to do. However, when it's all said and done, we will have a squeaky clean planet.
Okay, good.
Squeaky clean, beautiful, everything everywhere. All of the tyrants, gone, wiped out of history, all that shit. It's over for them. They try to do that to, Tataria and whatever, however you pronounce that shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Lemuria, um, 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 Atlantis, and all that stuff. They've mind wiped everybody. Not necessarily mind wiped everybody, but they ended civilizations, took the people and had them grow up over here, and then fed them a bunch of bullshit. That's what they've been doing for a long time.
Yeah, yeah.
It's done.
So that Cabbage Patch theory is a valid theory where basically they wiped out civilization, they started it again, but because there weren't like the elders or whatever, the older people on Earth to train their kids, teach their
Yeah.
kids.
And that it happened in the Bible, the
Yeah.
flood.
Yeah.
And here's another one for all of you Christians. God supposedly made Adam and Eve. Adam and Eve had Cain and Abel. Cain killed Abel. Cain was shunned. Got another female, started having kids. Wait, where did this chick come from? You see how stupid y'all really are now?
I actually have wondered that myself, but okay.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to call y'all stupid. Y'all just a little slow, that's all.
That's fabulous. That's fabulous.
So a lot of the stuff in there was BS, straight up. And that was the very first BS red flag. And why didn't anybody get that shit?
Our local minister translated it for us, and we just ate that right up. We believed it.
Yeah, well, that's what happened.
Yeah.
Everybody believed a bunch of bullshit, including myself, until I did my own research.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not going to take your word for it. I'm going to go find out if it's true.
Yeah.
And if it's something that I can physically do myself to see if it's true or not, I'm going to do that too. So I don't just take people's word for it. I don't just do research. I actually try to reproduce this shit. And I've done it. That's how I know so much. I'm a research junkie. Like, I get a fucking kick out of it. Researching and learning and blah, 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 blah. That's why I have so many solutions now, because of what I've done. All of the research. Yeah, I sold drugs back in the day for a very long time. While I was doing that, I had free time to search, research, find out things, buy a bunch of bullshit to see what I could do. Because while I was in that field, I'd never wanted to be there. However, it was giving me the free time to investigate all this stuff, right? And that past still haunts me because they still think I'm doing that type of shit, and I'm not. I'm doing things by the book, the way Daddy wants me to do it. So you can't pin nothing on me. It's not going to work. That's what that was about, trying to pin shit on me.
Right.
I'm not doing anything.
Right.
I'm doing legitimate stuff. Plus, I'm healing people. Like, aren't you guys investigating all this shit while you're investigating me, trying to pin me on some shit. I know y'all seeing my post. I know y'all seeing the people that are being healed. Leave me the fuck alone, or else you're gonna get some shit you don't want.
Yeah. Yeah.
So anyway, that's what it is. My bad. I ain't mean to go off on a.
No, it's fun though, isn't it? It's
Yeah,
fun.
it is.
What is the percentage? We talked about, this is like a year plus ago. We talked about how we're told there's 8, let's say 9 billion people on Earth, and you said it's far less than that. So we know that there's, we'll call them real humans, and then there's NPCs / clones.
That's. Remember, we had a Jedi session like 5 something years ago when we were talking about that, and we were enforcing it that it be revealed, and all of a sudden now they're talking about NPCs.
Yeah.
Right,
Playable characters, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So that tells you that a lot of the people that what y'all think or the numbers say is not real, because a lot of people are either real NPCs, robots, AI generated, blah, blah, blah. So roughly I'm getting anywhere between 3 and 5 billion people.
Of real people.
Of real inhabitants of the land.
Okay.
I'll say it that way.
All right.
Okay. That being said, because of all the work that we're doing and because of the human trafficking that we're putting an end to, it's going to quadruple literally overnight. Because now what? Now you got children that are not being taken. Those children are going to have children, and children, and children, and children. So that's why we got to rebuild the planet in a way where it's going to be sustainable for everyone. And it's very much, very, very well possible. Very. We could put everybody in Texas right now, and everybody has a nice mansion in Texas alone. Africa, we could do the same thing over and over and over again over there. Right? So all of the different things that they've been telling us here in the US has been fucking lies. Not everything, but you know what I mean. Like a lot of it.
Well, we're told that the Earth can't sustain the population.
Yeah,
that's all we're told over and over and over and over, right?
Just like we were told all the bullshit about China, and then everybody joins Red Note, and then they realize that China actually got it way better than us. They actually own their apartments until they die, and they don't pay for fucking healings. What the fuck? They tell us that people in Africa are fucking starving. Let's put money to these children that are starving. You go over there, it's beautiful cities. Like what? What? Man, listen, they've been having the U.S. in a chokehold, thanks to Israel, thanks to all the cabal members that have been blackmailed over here. You know, that's why Daddy had me put out the video with all those fancy cars, and he wants everybody to know that there is no lack. The controllers, or the would-be or wannabe controllers of this beautiful place we call America, or Turtle Island, or Lemuria, Atlantis, whatever the fuck you want to call it, right? Whatever you want to call this place has been suppressing us like a motherfucker.
Yes,
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So that being said, the good guys that are watching this and the good guys that are behind us, they are ready for this as well. They are ready to release the wealth to all of you guys, because they've been monitoring, they've been watching all of you guys. They know who you are. They know who the bad guys are. They know who's planning to take the money and do some bullshit with it. And they know who's planning to take the money and do some real work with it. Humanitarian work. Most importantly, Dad knows. God, Creator, Source, Allah, our Father, whatever you want to call Daddy. He knows who the true humanitarians are. And he also knows who's the boss is, because he made him. I love talking shit, by the way, and it's real.
Yeah. Well, it's occurred to me over and over that we, and I'm not saying us specifically, have created the third world countries. Okay, like they've all been the ones that we've colonized, and again, not we specifically,
Right.
but that have been colonized. So Africa, South America, India, those were places that were taken over by other countries to suck out the resources. They don't care about the land, they don't care about the people.
Right.
And then we're like, oh, they're not a good place. They're not safe to go there. It's not this, it's not that. When in case the opposite was probably true before
Right.
they got their hands on it,
That's right. That's right. That's right. And a lot of the governments are run by corporations like BlackRock and big companies that have money because they have money, so they can buy politicians, they can do certain things, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm fucking struggling just to make ends meet, which ain't cool. I got to do a sale just to make ends meet. What the fuck? But anyway, it's cool. Yep. Because Daddy's dropping it like it's hot. He said it's done. He's been having me say it multiple times this whole session. Yep. And I believe it's done. I have faith that it's done. It's done. We're getting ready to get we're lacing up our boots and we're going to work.
Yeah.
That's where we're at.
You're going to have multiple projects go on to basically shift the earth from, we'll call it dark to light, like the heavy, hard life that many people have been living, to a life of joy, projects, interests, passions, fun, family.
That's right. That's right. There was a post about maybe 8-9 years ago on one of the IQD, on one of the Intel groups, the Intel pages back in the day. Yep. But it literally said Sananda Galactic and his humanitarian force will show up and will do this and do that.
Yeah.
We're here.
Yeah.
And we're going to show y'all.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's what we're going to do. That's what we're doing. I've already healed all the right people to be a part of it. I've already contacted all the right people to be a part of it. Everybody that Daddy wanted me to contact all around the world has already been contacted. So when Daddy wants me to receive the wealth, boom, it's over. I'm funding everything. So yeah, Daddy released the gold. Awesome. We released the gold.
Awesome.
We released more than gold, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Fabulous. Yeah. And so animals, okay, so we've got domestic animals, dogs and cats, we'll say, and then we've got farm animals, and we'll call them wild animals. They're going to live in harmony with us as well. So how's that going to look? Like, say we have dogs, and they don't all live in our houses. Like, we don't own them, if you will. They live outside. So what are they going to eat? Like, will they be treated well? And will they, can you kind of describe what that's going to look like? Because everyone loves animals and they don't want to see them hurt or suffering. And that's what we see now.
Yeah, well, it's going to be everybody's going to be plant-based. Everybody. It don't matter what type of things the animals consume right now. Mm-hmm. There's a part in the Bible where it talks about, the animals and the people coming together in harmony and communicating, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Well, I've tried to explain that to you guys multiple times. Telepathic communications. That's what that is. Please don't eat me. I'll get you something to eat. You want me to climb that tree for you, Mr. Lion? I'll do it right now. Shit like that.
Yeah. Okay.
They're not going to want to eat the things that they're normally eating because they only had options to eat that type of stuff. Right? So what happens if you create a a food processing company that specifically makes food for animals. And then they're fed this stuff, and then who knows? They all of a sudden they love it. They're not going to want to eat what they were eating because now they don't have to go nowhere. It's right here.
Yeah.
They can just walk up and say, "Hey, can I have some food?" Sure, here you go. Because we'll be communicating differently. Like it's already happening. People are there's animal videos of animals talking to fucking, dolphins saying words and birds saying shit, and it's already happening.
That's cool.
It's wild stuff, but
Thanks for saying that, because I've been worried about them.
Yeah, at the end of the day, you shouldn't worry about nothing because Dad has a solution for everything. Although, yes, we do worry. I worry about certain things myself.
Yeah.
But it's only because I want to get things done.
Yeah.
And it's cool to ask these questions because then you get the solutions that we can all be behind. When we were going to the vegetarian restaurant, we were eating meatballs that were made out of beans. We were eating, all types of sausages that was made out of vegetables. We can mimic that same thing for, let's say, a lion. Let's say, carnivore or whatever, right? We can make things that they'll love and they won't want to do other things, right? So there's so many things that we are going to come up with that is going to be a solution for multiple things. I've even invented a like not a porta potty, but a toilet type thing, which is not a toilet, but it's a plate that the animal walks on, does their thing. They can put their paw on it and it flushes and cleans it. So when you have animals and you teach them how to do these things, you won't have to clean up after them because they have a specific location, just like your ass got a toilet. They have something too. You see the way my mind works?
I love it.
I work on everything, man. There's so many solutions that I have for one fucking problem. So out of 10 of those solutions, one of them gotta fucking work at least, right? I want them all to work.
I love that idea so much. That's perfect. It's perfect.
You look, I visit horse stables. I visit all types of different places, and a lot of the certain places that deal with animals stinks like shit, literally. So if we do, not if, but when we have something like this where the horse can just walk up to it, do its due, clean, put his hoof on the machine, little trap door opens, and then it's soap and water, and then closes back up. The horse can go on his way. Nobody has to sit there breaking their back fucking cleaning horse shit.
Wow.
The galactic stable coming to a city near you.
Dude, I'm so glad I asked that question. That's a great answer. I love that.
Remember, I got to deal with unicorns and shit shortly, so I'm already thinking ahead.
Unicorns.
Big ass lions walking around. We're doing live, and the big ass lion pops up. I got to know where this motherfucker's going to shit at. Okay.
Now you said the lion is like as tall as like 5 or 6 feet. It's big.
Right? Yeah, we got some right now. You can't see them, but there's big guys.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about, I have gray ones that are coming. And those, they'll be roaming around and walking around. They're not going to be shitting everywhere, and they're not going to be laying their dirty asses on the couch. Somebody needs to teach this fool how to use the fucking toilet.
Oh my God.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's called the germaphobe Jesus.
Well, I just love it because I've gone to countries where the cats and dogs are, there's a lot of them out there and they're starving. They're starving and there's no one to feed them or whatever. And, I don't want that either. I want them to be free though. I love that idea.
That's why we're here, and that's why they're fighting tooth and nail, not to fund people like myself, because we are so far in advance of the norm, and we have so many solutions to one problem.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's just
Right.
But thank Dad that it's happening, which is why we thank him every day, because we know it's happening.
Right.
Why would he give us these type of ideas if he wasn't going to allow us to manifest them or to make them, create them, right? So yeah, it's done.
It's done. It's done. All right. All right. A few more questions if we can. All right. If someone plays a certain person in their past life, so we know, all right, we can add the complexity of there is no time, blah, blah, blah. But let's just say, for this example, we've come back to do this, what we're doing right now, jillions of times. Okay. And someone is the role of, we're going to just say Cleopatra or whatever. And they come back through over and over and over to help. Are they always the one that plays that specific role, or do they switch with other people?
They're always the one that play that role
Yeah.
until they can't get it, and then they'll switch out. You
Okay.
understand? You understand what I'm trying to say?
No, when you say they can't get it, what does that mean?
If they fail,
Ah,
yeah. If you fail over and over again, somebody's got to step up.
okay.
So yeah, that's kind of why I'm here,
Okay.
because a lot of people failed.
Okay. All right. Because we've got multiple people claiming to be the same people in their past lives. And that could maybe be true. I just wanted to kind of understand that just for fun, I guess.
Yeah, well, it's not. It's very very rare.
Okay.
It's very 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 rare. However, what it's complicated because you're not going to come back and play that same role, that same life is what I meant.
Yeah.
Right? You'll be the same person and just doing something different,
Yeah.
or
But
vice versa. Somebody else got to take another your place because you fucked up.
yeah. Okay.
So there's only one essence ever created. Or should I say, there's one original essence created, and then that essence have multiple lifetimes. And if they get messed up, somebody else takes that role and then does blah 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 blah.
Okay.
That being said, it's not that hard to understand reincarnation. That's why a lot of the children being brought into this reality now can remember their past, because the veil's thinning, the memories are coming in intact and all that stuff. So there's that's why we call it volunteers now.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
we volunteers to be here. You chose, and then you volunteered, and blah 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 blah. So a lot of it has been changed that way. That's the purpose of reincarnation, so that we can come in and take control of the reality for the benefit of everyone, which is why and how we did it.
Excellent. Thank you.
Yep.
Um, I see you posted there were whales in the Destin area a few days ago, and they've been swimming around for a few days. I assume they're still here because you said you occasionally ride them.
That is
Wow.
true. That is true. Every time we go visit Daddy in the Golden Cube and do certain things,
Yeah.
he sends us in through portals and all types of
Yeah.
chambers with liquids running through us, and he'll then flush us through a fucking toilet and put us in the ocean, and then the whales pick us up, the dolphins pick us up, and bring us to shore. I
Wow.
don't expect anybody to believe it, but that's what happens.
That's cool. That's cool.
It's wild.
Well, after you had posted those whale videos, I saw something randomly, and it said, we're looking for some misguided whales. They're supposed to be up here, like, let's say New England, wherever it was, but we think they're down in Florida area. And
Yeah.
I was like, oh, you're trying to control the whales?
No, I'm gonna misguide them up their asses. See how they like that?
Yeah, they're trying to tell us if the whales are in the wrong spot and they don't believe.
See, those of you guys that know better know that I told y'all last year that that would happen.
Yeah.
It's happening. Everything that I told y'all would happen is happening.
Yeah.
It happened, happening. It's going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. It looks like you need to roll. Is there any other things that Daddy wants us to know today?
He said he got us. He said it's done and to expect. Be ready. Be ready. You know, from all of these conversations that I have my suitcase packed because he told me to. That's because I have to go do certain things.
Yep.
That being said, make sure you're ready. That's it. Make sure you're ready. You can get a phone call, a text message. You can see something pop up where, you know, it's time to go. It's time to go. It's done. It's done.
It's done. Okay. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome. This is one hell of a journey, and we're all getting you know, we're all coming to the forefront. We're hitting the world stage. We're, you know, some of us are being vindicated, like Johnny Boy, and
Yeah,
there's no way around it. The cabal is done.
it's
That
done.
being said, I'm out of here. Love you guys.
Thank you all. Thank you so much, King Smarty.